if you're helping someone on their journey out of Mormonism, thank you, that's awesome. Sometimes it's hard to be patient with that person, and so we want to examine today some of the reasons why that we might get impatient with the transitioning Mormon, because you know their pathway can really be up and down and back and forth. It's hard to be patient. Where does that impatience come from?
I think it's just wanting to rush.
Yeah.
You know what the end result could be for them.
Yeah.
And you just want them to get there so fast.
Yeah.
But then you need to be reminded that, it's not about you.
Right.
You
My
know?
expectations are not necessarily the same as God's expectations.
Right. Yeah.
And then maybe I have to think about my own motives.
You have to check your motives, I think, I do every day.
Yeah.
You know?
Why do I want to push them along?
Right.
Yeah.
Is it for them to believe exactly what doctrine I believe, or what church, or that kind of thing?
Yeah.
And you have to really make sure that is between them and God.
Yeah. Now, partly I can be motivated by some very good motives in that process. Like you said, there's a place I want them to get there.
Right.
Right. But part of it, there's also motives that maybe are less pure that can creep in.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, I want them to kind of get in my church or my movement or whatever, right? Ego, because I want that person then can validate for me sort of my kind of Christianity or my kind of distinctive. I've got another convert to
Absolutely.
to my little thing, whether it's a theological position or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
Then if they follow that, then I feel like, I'm right. It's kind of about me.
Yeah, and I think it's human nature. I think it's common, especially in ministry, but it's not a good thing. So God brings us back and reminds us, not about you. It's about me.
Yeah. And another thing, I think you told me a story about where God had to speak to you about what seemed like a failure to you.
Yes.
So I think that, and you had to examine the motive about whether or not this relationship was about how legitimate you were at your ministry was.
Exactly.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. I was mentoring a young woman, and she was going to Bible classes, not mine, but in great church, and all of a sudden she became agnostic, atheist if not agnostic, and it crushed me, and I was paralyzed, and I thought, well, God, I thought you had me doing this for a reason. Am I not doing it right? And he very lovingly told me, "Oh, Allison, it's not about you. You're doing what I asked you to do. So this is to not validate you. That's just because she did not decide right now to give her life to Christ.
Right.
That doesn't mean she won't in the future.
Right.
It doesn't make my work for Christ any less.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so that I see what you're saying. Where it kind of like, if it doesn't go just right, then that's like, a blow to me.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of shows what it's been about, right? If it's been about me.
Yeah.
And so that's what we just want to encourage you guys. As you work with people who are coming out of Mormonism, you've got to be patient. And if you feel urgent, a little bit pushy, they've got to get a certain doctrine just right. They've got to start, doing certain things that you want them to do. I just really encourage you to examine where that impatience is coming from. And just let God speak to you. He can sort that out, the right motives from the wrong ones, to help the people that you're working with to really pursue God for themselves. So take a look at the questions below and talk about them with someone. We encourage you to do that. And thanks for watching. Hope this has been a help to you today.